Obviously, at the moment, people aren't choosing where they find themselves, but they get to choose how they respond to it. And I think being proactive, taking responsibility is really crucial.
Well, you say, and I think this is interesting, you say ask for what you want. If you want something from your boss, ask. From your spouse, ask. But it seems to me like now, I don't know, but would be the time to sort of keep your head down.
Be stoic.
Yeah, just sort of work hard and get through it.
And I know that's what people are doing. They're playing safe, thinking I'll just, keep my mouth closed. But when a lot is being asked of us, we need to be asking a lot of others. So I think it's really important when there's a lot being put on our plate, we're being asked to do more with less, to make requests of people around us, whether it's your boss or your husband or a colleague, from the boardroom to the bedroom. Let people know what is it that you want and what you need.
But if you want a raise, you're not going to get a raise at a time like this.
You may not get a raise right now, but it's still important for people to know what you want and not necessarily to settle. You're never going to get what you want unless you're willing to ask for it. So what I say, whether it's in relationships or in career, don't settle. Don't sell yourself short. Don't settle for something that's less than what you really want. Keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah, in fact, I think successful people have failed a lot more than people who aren't successful. Anything worth doing has an element of risk, and I think the biggest risk we take is not taking any risk. First is, what am I most committed to? Sometimes in life you've got to say no to the good to make room for the great.
What's some good advice for how to treat your spouse in that situation?
Times like this can put a lot of pressure on marriages.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so important at times like this to be really open, forthright, have those lines of communication really open. And so it is easy for people to kind of fall into the doldrums and let a mood of despair and desperation overcome them.
Yeah.
So I think focus on hope and optimism. People are far more attracted to people who are hopeful and optimistic than those who are despairing and desperate.
The thing is, when we stop resisting, it frees up a lot of energy and allows us to be that much more powerful in changing the things we don't like. But there's no happiness without action.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and
procrastinating is not going to do a thing.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. I know it's simple, but it's profound.
By the time the guests get there, you are a cranky so-and-so.
Yeah.
It's like,
and your hair isn't done, and you're really cranky.
You have no lipstick
and everyone
on.
says
like,
what a grump you were at Christmas time.
Right. Thanks a lot. And then the problem.
Well, not you. Yeah. But maybe Felicia. But,
No, but it's true. I've been there.
So I always say, if someone else is furious, get curious. Ask questions, acknowledge how they're feeling, but don't kind of fight back, because that is only going to make the situation worse. If someone else is feeling upset, don't you start putting your boxing gloves on, because, it descends in a downward spiral pretty quickly. In my early 20s, after I graduated from college, I put on a backpack and I spent a couple of years travelling around the world, largely on my own. And, I learnt a lot during that time, that really, life is as big as we dare to dream it to be. But, you don't need a passport to have a spirit of adventure. The quality of our relationships is determined by the quality of the conversations we have in them. Don't let the choices you've made in the past define your future. You get to define who you are and determine what you want out of the future. We're going to experience change in life, that's a certainty. But whether our experience of it is one of horror, terror, or one of wonder is a choice.
It's what's in our heads, isn't it? It's about how we perceive things.
Absolutely. I think it's vital to focus on what we can do rather than on what we can't. And at times like this, we're being bombarded daily with messages of why we should play safe, hunker down, avoid risk. And we have a choice. Do we live under a cloud of dark anxiety, or do we trust in ourselves more deeply to handle whatever challenges come along?
But you can do other things that are special still.
What about like going on a far-flung vacation? Something you've always dreamed of doing.
Someplace warm.
Yeah.
Hey, Australia.
Hey,
it's the perfect time of year to head south.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what am I doing here? Well, anyway.
Wonderful tips.
And I always think our life shrinks or expands in proportion to our courage and our willingness to let go and go with the flow.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. 4 kids between the ages of 4 and 9, I think you said.
Yeah.
You really do let life flow. Thank you so much, Margie, for coming in.
It's been a pleasure.
If you're getting rejected, a lot of people are getting rejected, going for jobs and they're not getting the job. And often we can take it personally, too personally, and make it mean something it doesn't, that I'm not employable, I don't have value to add, no one loves me.
Right.
And really, that's not the case at all. Don't make a no mean something it doesn't. Don't take rejection too hard.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Right.
Margie, thank you.
And hang out with people that make you feel good about
upbeat
you.
people.
Yeah, that's so key. Surround
really
yourself with people who are going to move you forward.
Like James Arthur Ray and Margie Warrell.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
You guys
so
are terrific.
much.
Thank you so much for being with us.